I want you to meet two women. This is Carol and this is Diane. They are both in their 50s. They live in the same town. They're both in good health. And if you saw them at the grocery store, you could not possibly tell them apart in any way that matters. Same energy, same strength, same starting line. But the two of them are about to make one quiet, ordinary choice. A choice that seems almost too small to matter at 55. And 20 years from now, that single choice will have shaped two completely different lives. Let me show you how. I'm Dr. Helen Kim, and welcome back to Healthy After 40. I want to walk you through Carol and Diane's next 30 years because it tells you something most of us aren't taught until it's late. And it has almost nothing to do with how a body looks. It has to do with what a body can still do. Stay with me to the end, because the most important part isn't the warning. It's the part where I tell you it is never, ever too late to change which of these two women you become. So here they are at 50, and here's the choice. Carol does what her whole generation was taught to do. She watches what she eats, and she does her cardio faithfully. Long walks, the treadmill, maybe a spin class. What she does not do is lift anything heavier than her handbag, because somewhere along the way, she absorbed the idea that weights are for young men or that they'd make her bulky. Diane does almost everything the same. She walks too. But twice a week, for about half an hour, Diane does one thing differently. She picks up some weights. Nothing dramatic. Light. Simple. Unglamorous. And here's the honest truth at 50. It makes no visible difference at all. Carol and Diane look the same. They feel the same. They can both do everything they want to do. If you put them side by side, you would never guess that one of them had just made the single most important decision of her next 30 years. Not a diet, not a surgery, not a supplement, just a pair of light weights, twice a week. Because the difference between them isn't on the surface yet. It's happening quietly, deep inside the muscle. And that is exactly where we need to look. Here's what almost nobody tells you. Starting somewhere in our 30s, every single one of us begins to lose muscle. Slowly at first, and then faster after 60. It has a name: sarcopenia. And if we do nothing about it, we can lose a third or more of our muscle by the time we're elderly. Now here's the key. Your body is efficient, almost ruthless about it. It keeps the muscle you actually use, and it quietly lets go of the muscle you don't. Walking and cardio are wonderful for your heart, but they don't send your body that signal to hold on to its strength. Only asking your muscles to work against resistance does that. Lifting a weight, pushing against a band, rising out of a chair without your hands. That effort is the message. Without it, the body simply assumes the strength isn't needed anymore and quietly stops paying for it. So picture what's happening under the surface. Every year, Carol's body is gently letting her muscle slip away because nothing is telling it not to. Diane's body, twice a week, is getting a very clear message. Keep this. I'm still using it. And this matters far beyond strength, because your muscle is also where your body parks blood sugar, and the steady pull of muscle on bone is part of what keeps your bones dense. So Diane isn't just keeping her arms strong, she is protecting her blood sugar and her skeleton at the very same time. None of it is visible. All of it is happening. Now let's move the clock forward. Carol and Diane are 60, and for the first time, you can start to see it. Carol notices little things. The stairs that never used to register now ask for a bit of effort. Opening a tight jar is suddenly a real task. Stepping off a curb, she feels just slightly less sure of her footing than she used to. At her checkup, her doctor mentions that her bone density has dipped a little. Nothing alarming yet, but a direction. Carol chalks it all up to simply getting older. And she's half right. This is what getting older looks like, when nothing was done to slow it down. Diane, at 60, hasn't escaped aging. Nobody does. But she's lifting her own suitcase into the overhead bin without a second thought. Her balance is steady. Her bones, on the same kind of scan, are holding their ground. She isn't extraordinary. She isn't an athlete. She simply spent 10 years sending her body that one quiet signal, twice a week. And now, slowly, it is paying her back. And now we arrive at the part that actually matters. Their 70s. Because this was never really about how Carol and Diane look. It was about something we rarely say out loud until we're frightened of losing it. Independence. At 75, Carol pushes down hard on the armrests just to get herself out of a chair. She's started to avoid stairs whenever she can, and after one stumble that truly frightened her, she's become quietly afraid of falling, and that fear shrinks her world a little more each month. Because here is the hard truth. At this age, a single bad fall can change everything. And the strength to catch yourself, the muscle to get back up off the floor, is the best insurance there is against that. This isn't vanity, and it isn't drama. It's whether you get to keep living in your own home, on your own terms. Diane is 75 too, and Diane gets down onto the floor to play with her grandchildren, and, just as importantly, gets herself back up again. She carries her own groceries in from the car. She still travels. Her life hasn't narrowed because her body can still do the things her life is made of. Same age as Carol. The same starting line 25 years ago. A completely different present. Now, if you've been listening to this and quietly recognizing yourself in Carol, please hear me, because this is the most important thing I will say today. It is not too late. It is genuinely never too late. This is one of the most hopeful findings in all of medicine. Researchers have taken people in their 80s and even their 90s, given them simple strength training, and watched them grow measurably stronger in a matter of weeks. Frail bodies, decades older than Carol, rebuilding their strength. Your body never stops being willing to respond. It is only ever waiting to be asked. And what it asks of you is far smaller than you fear. Not a gym membership, not heavy barbells. 2 short sessions a week. Standing up from a chair without using your hands, carrying something heavy across the room, a little simple resistance, is enough to begin. Pair it with enough protein, the way we talked about in the belly fat video, and you have started. You are not training to look like anyone. You are training to keep your life. Before my 3 things to remember, I'd love to hear from you. Be honest, are you more of a Carol or a Diane right now? And which one do you want to be a year from now? Tell me in the comments where you're starting from. 3 things to carry with you. Number 1, strength is not about how you look. It's about your bones, your balance, and your independence. Your ability to keep doing the things that make your life yours. Number 2, cardio is wonderful for your heart, but only working against resistance tells your body to keep its muscle. 2 short sessions a week is genuinely enough to change your trajectory. And number 3, it is never too late. Bodies in their 80s still grow stronger. The best time to start was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. If Carol and Diane made you think of someone, or made you think about yourself, share this with them. It might be the gentle push that adds years of independence to someone's life. And if you'd like to keep making sense of your body after 40, subscribe and stay with us. None of this is medical advice. It's simply the conversation I'd want my own family to have. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.